I'm doing well, now that LinkedIn's back up and running again. That was fun.
It's a little bit stressful.
Yeah, I told Mike your mic's on. There you go. Yeah, I was like to my team yesterday, I was like, yeah, I just don't work today.
Yeah.
It's all take the day off.
Yeah,
Mike,
you
did you?
couldn't do much.
No, yeah, we couldn't even post and comment on the newsfeed at all.
Yeah. Did you also experience trouble, Mike?
Yeah, we sure did. Yeah, I launched 2 people on a brand new campaign tool. I've never launched clients on it before. I've just been using it myself, right?
Yeah.
So I launch them up on it, and the day that this happens, I'm going, there's no way or anything, but it's like, and they don't really. One of them got the notification. The tool maker sent notifications to all the users. Hey, there's LinkedIn's having a problem. Here's a link to the outage thing that had the big chart.
Nice.
That's been floating around and stuff. I was real impressed by that. I learned about it from one of my tool makers. That's how I found out about it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. It happens. I think usually spring and then fall is when the larger set of rollouts usually happens. I wonder if they're kind of just getting ready to roll out their normal spring updates.
I think they're rolling up to the Azure platform, which is the new strategic direction of LinkedIn, is to move to that platform that I don't believe everyone is going to be home run to a server. The architecture we're on right now, we're all home run to a server, and none of us are on the same servers, and nobody at the same company is even on the same server.
Like there's like clusters? Is that?
Yeah. So 10,000 users per server, fire another one up, fire another one up, fire another one up.
Good dyno. Yeah.
That's why we're on different versions of it. From you to your wife over there, she's got a feature you don't have, and so on. And I thought that with Microsoft coming on board, that within a company that they might home run everybody to the same server. They might have that capability. Everyone with the Sales Navigator enterprise license all goes on this server, so we all have the same version. It didn't happen, but I thought that was an exquisite thing to think about.
It might eventually.
I think they're going to move to the Azure platform, and it won't matter. I do.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
the only thing that matters is that the servers in Ireland are set up different than the servers in the States, and that's because of the GDPR rulings. They have to have different servers.
Yeah, fascinating. That's fascinating.
And what's also strange is that when we set our settings to English, the rollout of features is faster than we set it to Dutch. So that's also different servers, and so they cater to different people. And the strange thing I find about that is that although I know that I'm a server in Ireland, when I put my settings on English, I get different features.
Interesting. Hey, Ahmed, welcome. I'm not sure exactly where you are, but do you experience anything like that? Are you familiar with what Jared's saying at all? Since you might even be here in the States. I'm just guessing from.
Hello. No, I'm based in Europe, Budapest, Hungary, and I've never used any other language than English for the interface. So I actually don't know, but it makes sense that GDPR can have some, impact on the features that they provide. And then again, it makes sense that they kind of launch newest features in English first, until they decide to launch them to everyone and kind of translate the interface to other languages.
Well, they'll launch features and then decide not to launch them as well. So I think only the features that get through all the vetting even get the possibility to go to those other platforms. They don't take a half-baked product and convert it to Dutch.
Yeah. I lost the ability again to invite people to follow my company page. I had it for a couple weeks and then it was gone again. But then other people still have it. So
and I got today an email update from LinkedIn itself that it's available for everybody now.
Are you serious? Okay, I believe you, but I need to see this.
Yeah, what is the feature you're talking about?
Share your screen, Bart. Kurt, can you show us there?
Yeah, I don't have it right now. I have to search for the email. because I just got it today, but I didn't went through the email yet.
Okay, I'm still not having it. So either maybe it just hasn't fully rolled out, or they didn't like that I invited like tons of people.
Yeah, maybe it's you.
It's probably me. They don't like. So Ahmed, what happens is just switch screens here. There's a feature that has come and go a couple times where company page followers are hard to get, and so they like you can comment now as your company page, that kind of thing. And then you might see, if you go to the admin view of your company page, a little blue label that says new feature, invite your connections to follow your company page, and you can do 50 per day invitations to follow. There's no custom message or anything, just it's kind of like sending a generic connection request by pushing the button, and then a certain percentage will follow the page, and that's what we're talking about. So it came for a while, it was ghosted. I got it. I thought it was going to stick, and then I got ghosted, and I think Tracy said that she had it. So I think they're just putting it out in pieces, getting feedback, and probably making improvements before they give it to everybody. But like Jared just said, it's probably around the corner.
So how easy is it to invite those 50 people? Do you just go click, 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 and it's gone?
Yeah, basically you click invite, and this might change after I receive it again. So maybe I got they may have made revisions after they removed it from my account. So it was like I have a video if you want to like see it, but it's you click invite, and then there's a light box that pops up with your first degree connections. You can either search for them and then choose, or you can kind of just scroll down and check next to their name and then push invite. 50 a day, and it's 50 a day based off of LinkedIn's internal clock. So like one day I did 50 invites at like 10 Central, and then later in the day I just went and checked again, and I was able to do more invites same day for me, but it was on their internal clock. Yeah.
So literally you're looking at a list that's got 20,000 people on it, and you're checking boxes from the top of that list. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep, you can do that.
Is there a better way?
There's not. No, there's not. And you can't invite people from their profile. So you can only do it from your admin page.
Yeah, so on the admin page so I've got 30,000 connections. What
Yeah.
if you had 500? I mean,
You just
whatever.
You have to work your way down it. It's not a very good user interface, but
see my point.
yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
Email from an hour ago, and it's the LinkedIn page's Q1 release details.
Oh, sweet! I haven't read that yet.
Exactly stating this, that you can go to my page, browse from your page profile, invite to follow, and stream with LinkedIn Live. That's what the email is about.
Awesome. I'm pulling up the page now here.
Yeah, I went to my page, but it's unable to load. So there's still a problem there.
Awesome. Yeah, I haven't read the Q1 release. Hey, would you forward that to me? Because
Yeah,
I'm on the list, but I'm on the list, but I haven't gotten it yet. So, and if I go to the product update, it's still Q4 actually. So you're special, probably because you're on the Ireland server, Jer.
I think so.
Cool. All right, so Ahmed, this is your first time jumping on. So really quick, what do you do?
I do web analytics.
Cool.
So data pipelines, reporting, custom dashboards, things like that.
Awesome.
And I just finished your course on Jeff's website. Like
awesome.
A few weeks ago, I tried going through the lessons, and I just started using the sales navigator,
cool.
Tagging people, searching for people, and
cool.
I thought I'd just jump on one of these calls.
For sure, man. For sure. So the biggest thing is that you just do it. Like it feels overwhelming and people stall out because it feels like there's just so much to do, but just do it, man.
No, it's fun. It's no problem.
Yeah, for sure. And actually you're in luck because Jer, Mike, and I, we all do LinkedIn. So you're kind of like in a room full of pros. Cool. So is there, on the email I send out, I definitely want to talk about just targeting, and this will be cool. Like I'll share some of the stuff that we do in our sales meetings to like make sure that someone's ready, like that there actually is a market, and before we even bring one as a client. And so I'll share ours if you guys want to share yours, and then Ahmed, I'd love to hear feedback. But other than that, is there anything you all want to bring up today that we talk about live? Because you guys get priority.
Yeah. The new user agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken the new user agreement, I've got it in a Google Doc, and I started highlighting things of concern to us all.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing some more things with that, maybe even create a little conversation. I created a Kajabi community on my Kajabi site to see if we might get a conversation going about the terms and conditions and stuff. Because of course there's always a grab of we own everything, you own nothing, you can, sort of thing.
Yeah.
One of the things it says right in it is you can't share access to your account. So, right at the very top, you can't use third parties, only you at your keyboard. And that's like in the first bullet. Okay.
Yeah.
The don'ts.
I think that was there before. I could be mistaken. Did you by
It's now
chance?
bullet number 1. It's right at the very top now.
Did you save the other version?
I have it here. Yeah, I have it.
Okay, cool. Because I would love to be able to do like a copyscape where you compare the changes. That would be really cool. I'm sure there's like a legal.
That would be really, really cool for us to do. Yeah, I agree. So I had an hour-and-a-half call with the vice president of one of the tool makers I use. I use a tool called Zap Info, and
I remember you saying that.
Really cool product. And so I've had dinner and drinks with this guy. He reports to the CEO of the company, and we talked about the new user agreement. And I put these in, and we went through them point by point. Arguing the legal, parsing out the little words that might say only or and So they also have a new document that has branding guidelines. So where you can use the word LinkedIn in a name or a logo or in a URL, and how many pixels between the edges of the inbox you have to put your words that go with the inbox. I mean, it's really precise. And I put them both in, but you can see them if you just go to user agreement, and there's a little thing off there that says branding guidelines to see them. But there were some changes and stuff to look at, but it's the same usual fare that we can do everything and you can't, and we own you, and all that stuff. So I decided it does. For me, one of the issues is they don't allow, it says deep linking other than to promote your profile. And so if you wanted to link to a post or a LinkedIn message or to something other than a profile or a company page, you can't do that. You can't. And that hits me really hard. We're storing links to LinkedIn messages in spreadsheets and in apps and stuff, so we can get to messages quickly into the inbox. You're not allowed to do that. I just share the ones that we bump heads on there.
Yeah. And I honestly, I like playing by the rules, but I don't have any problem bookmarking or saving a URL to a sheet.
I agree. They mix the misdemeanors and the felonies all in the same list. You just don't know how many knocks you get for this one versus that one, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
that is interesting. I remember Tracy saying with the branding style guide you were talking about earlier, which is in there, and I actually had to review this before. So like when we're trying to find a name for the education stream for the course, and so you can't use like LinkedIn X, Y, and Z. You have to do linked, which is why it's pretty common to see linked this, linked that instead of LinkedIn, because of the branding style guides there and the trademarks and stuff. And so the part of that was like you can't use the word LinkedIn because it's trademarked, and then you can't use the image, the logo, unless you use it within what they've said is okay, which is typically restricted to, it has to either be them doing the event or you're linking, it's like your profile, or you're directly linking to LinkedIn.
Or you get special permission. There's always a little thing, otherwise special permission. So if we like it, we'll approve it. And it does. There's a non-disparagement clause in it. You can't do anything. You can't do anything that disparages the LinkedIn brand or name or logo. No critics allowed. Yeah. It's pretty extreme. But I talked to some legal folks about this, and how do you describe or make reference to the company LinkedIn without saying LinkedIn?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
that company that starts with L, Here, my 10 best tips for that social media platform that starts with L.
Yeah, you're not going to stop people from saying or writing the word. I think that they're just covering their bases. And then they can choose when to enforce something.
It's the selective enforcement. That's what that's what my legal guy said. It's selective enforcement. See, if you're an investor, you have to factor these things in. He's in the investment world and stuff. So you have to factor in the possibility that LinkedIn could shut my investment down and I could lose all my money.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah. Like I've got friends where they were using tools and then one changed from LinkedIn and then that company either has to totally reinvent itself or they're just out of business. Which is probably what he's thinking too. Like it's a real thing when you're dependent on another company for your own company.
Now I wonder if it's different if your product is a social media product and LinkedIn is one of the social media products, whether you can get by with more stuff if it's not just specific to LinkedIn. You know, if they're grouped in with the others, you know, it's part of a soup.
Yeah.
We're splitting hairs, but I think there might be some leeway there if you're a social media product that works with LinkedIn is one of the platforms we work with. Social media for the world that includes LinkedIn, blah, 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 you know, or, well, it's got the word LinkedIn in it. I don't know.
Yeah. Selective enforcement. I think as long as you play by the rules, you'll be more safe, you know.
And I break 6 rules out of that agreement right off the bat.
Yeah, I think everybody at some point in time does, but
you do. You probably break all the same ones I do, Isaac.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, yeah, good talking points. Anybody else? Anything else? Any other stuff? Okay, you in my right corner who jumped on. Who are you? Is that
Benjamin?
Benjamin. Yeah, I just messaged you the other day. Welcome. Hey, really quick, since this is your first time, what do you do?
Yeah, so what I do, I'm a growth marketer. So I help companies to grow the sales, and but I'm also specializing on LinkedIn in 2020, but for the French market. So I intend being across to become a LinkedIn influencer in France, in French.
Very cool. Do you know Guillaume Morbacek?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He's in your neck of you have to excuse my poor French. He says it translates to William the Conqueror, which I can handle.
Yeah, because they are really well known in US with Lemlist, so and it's quite useful when you do cold emailing. Yeah.
Do you know Ilya then? Are you friends with Ilya?
Ilya, I'm friends with him, but I don't have a personal connection with him yet.
Okay.
But
yeah, he's a fun guy. He's a cool guy. Okay, cool.
He's
well, welcome.
Very active on social media.
He is. He's got a little bit of help too.
Yes.
So live people always get the priority. So anything else that you guys want to bring up live here before we talk about what's in queue?
I've got a question about the people that we tag. So I have a bunch of people that I tagged, and in the search I can search for them, people who are tagged with something. But when I want to save them all to a list, it is not possible. It just saves the first 25 of them.
So you go to page, select all, like include the tag, right? And then did you like select all, add to list, and then did you go to the exclude the list from search results?
No, I want to have everyone that has a certain tag applied to them, and I want to save them to a lead list. So I want to make a list out of them.
I'm going to share my screen real quick here.
Okay.
Where are we at? Let's see. So you did like a tag.
Yep. Let's say clients or anything.
Right. And then did you do like this?
No, nothing. But nothing else. But if you check select all in there, and then it activates the save to list. But if the list, there's just one person here, but in my list there are like 500 people. And when I do this and I save to list, it only saves the first 25, the ones that are visible. different.
Yeah, you
Right.
have to go one page at a time. You got to go to
Yep.
page 2, select all, do it again. Page 3, select
Yeah.
all, do it again.
Okay, that was that was
That's the
I
answer.
saw.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long though. I mean, you can do
Yeah.
1,000 results in 20 minutes, easy.
Yep.
So and
But this was my first question, and the second one: can we search people that are not tagged? So I didn't find a way to exclude people that are tagged with something.
you cannot exclude the tag like you can with the yeah. So that's kind of a bummer. I really hope that's coming.
I
So
hope
there's
it's coming too. Isaac.
yeah, oh, man.
Yeah, you know it, right?
It's gonna save me a lot of headache. So
Okay.
the closest thing you'd be able to do is exclude the custom list. You can't exclude by tag. Yeah, those are good
So
questions.
if I see the list of the tagged people, add them to a list, then I can exclude the list from any search.
Right. So you can go like this, and then
Mhm.
exclude the list.
That's
So if
perfect.
you want to do that
Yeah.
exclude technique that we're talking about, we can't use tags. We just have to use the lead list now until we can get the circle slash with the tag, right?
Okay. Yep.
Also,
Makes
if you're doing the one page at a time to save to list, like if you're able to exclude this group here instead of going to page 2 and then 3 and then 4, if you're excluding people that are already saved, you can just refresh the browser and then just do page 1 over and over and over. And so we do that same
Show me
kind of process.
that. That's cool. Hold on. Don't go too fast on that one. That's
So here,
okay. So they're all.
It's hitting me out like you said.
Page 1 at a time.
here, 1 second. So let me I'll create a list really quick here.
So you're adding people to a list, and then you circle slash the list that they're in so that they won't show.
Yeah, so like there's demo list. Let's go Geo US. Select all, saved a list, demo, right? And then I'll go like this. I'll go like this, exclude. And then select all, saved a list, demo.
That is
They're
it.
saved down there. And then I'll just refresh it because then they're excluded from the list.
That saves time because going to the bottom to go next page and back up and stuff. That's what you just described there is a good time saver.
Yeah, well, it's actually, I wonder if there's a delay because it's, oh, shoot, hang on. I created an account list, sorry. So the process, hang on here.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, not a list. Okay.
I did the, so for all of you people that are not as familiar with this, I created a demo for the company list
For
instead of,
accounts, not the leads.
yeah, so just for the sake of, let's do this. Oh, there's already a demo list on the account. Great. First, so we'll change this to lead list, demo, exclude. So then we'll select all, save the list. Give it a minute.
Well, I see. There's a little delay there too, as
There is. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's about a wash going to the bottom to the next what and stuff on that, or what do you recommend, Isaac?
If you're not going super fast, I prefer that. Interesting. Wonder why it's delaying. Oh, do you remember Susan a couple weeks back was saying that she was seeing like some duplicates.
Susan Tatum.
Search. Yeah. Yeah, she was saying that she was seeing duplicates. I've been noticing that as well. I wonder if it's part of increasing the max count from 1,000 to 25. There we go. Just a little bit of a delay. So I personally like doing the refresh first page because I feel like as you get farther back, sometimes the search results reorganize. That kind of thing.
Sure.
But
hop from page to page, right?
Yeah.
In the middle.
Yeah. So does that answer your question?
Yep.
Anybody else want to add anything to that?
That was awesome. I love that. I love that feature. The circle tag is the one where I'm just aching for, to be able to exclude a tag like that. We found that you can only put 250 people on a lead list.
Oh yeah, that's a great reminder. So when you're creating those lists, it's not scalable infinitely. You can tag. I think you can tag as many people as you want. Right? I think one account we have like 10,000 tagged. I don't think there's a limit there.
Nope, at 250, we ran into it there. We started splitting them up after that, and then we just went back to tags. Instead of having 4 lead lists over there, we just went back and tagged them again. And
yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's a good. I totally forgot about that. Jer,
we were cutting everybody over.
You have any pro advice on this, Jer?
Now, just another question. When you're making an account list, you can't exclude the accounts when you do a search for leads. Or am I wrong?
You can do a account and then exclude the account list.
Okay. I tried it this week and it didn't work because the account list wasn't there.
Oh, interesting. Do you want to check now and see if it's maybe it's just delayed? But this has been when maybe it's a Europe thing, but as soon as my account received the ability to include custom lists, they were both an option. So I don't know why, and I've seen that on every account since it was rolled out across the US here.
I have a big question about what you're doing there. We're searching for people,
mm-hmm.
and we're excluding companies on a list.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
I just want to make sure I understand what we're doing. So these people here, none of these people here work at any of those companies on that list.
Exactly, which is really helpful.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that. That's tricky stuff there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't want anyone that works at Microsoft or such and such and such and such. A list of companies. I put them on an account list, and then I can just search on companies that are not part of that. So I can have my bad list.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yep.
If you found companies that fit the bill and you just didn't like them for some reason, you wanted to just add them to the bad list.
Exactly.
List,
yes.
bad list, right?
Absolutely do that. So we'll have basically is a grouping your account list or company list. And I'm sure like if you end up doing it long enough, the same thing will always play out. You have your client list that you want to exclude, right? So you don't look like an idiot accidentally prospecting your client list. You want to exclude these are not a good fit companies. You want to exclude accounts that have already converted to your sales funnel. Those are the account lists that we typically create. And then alternatively, if there's a really good account, we'll save them so that we can search within those saved accounts as well. Yep.
No, that's some clever engineering there, Isaac.
Yeah. I think it's how it was designed. So the timing was really cool, guys. So we onboarded a client and the list of exclusions was so high that using just Boolean was breaking search. And I was getting so frustrated because I really wanted to hit a home run for these guys. And that account was the first account I'd ever seen the list exclusions on. And it was like, without that having happened, I would have just been so frustrated. So that's kind of like the story where I was kind of forced to figure it out. And yeah.
I was one of the last ones to get this custom list feature. My clients had it and I didn't. And I was just, damn, so pissed. Very last one to get it.
Yeah.
No, but the deal, I naturally think that under excludes, under lists, you would exclude leads if you're looking at people. You would exclude companies if you're looking at companies.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you cross companies and leads there was the cleverness that I gathered.
It's super helpful. And then when we're onboarding someone, and you guys might want to do this too, is we'll get a Google Doc and a list of clients. A lot of times they'll say like, hey, you need to sign an NDA. Totally cool. And then we'll catalog, does this company have a company page on LinkedIn? Yes or no? And if they do, then we'll add them to the list. And if they don't, then we'll use exclusion in the company name here using Boolean.
Is this how we could create a do not send list?
That's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I want to do with tags. That I have a do not send tag, all right? And there's so many on it.
Yep.
I'll just create a do not send custom list and just tag all those folks and just do this for now. When I get to 250, I'll add another do not send.
Yeah.
Too. That's a golden thing. Isaac, you're brilliant, man. That is.
Thanks. I just had to, go through the fire a little bit. What?
I go through fires too. It's nice to know other folks can go through fires and we can hold hands and get across,
Jared, I saw you looking at your screen. Did you check out and see if you had to account?
It's there now. So it was a glitch.
Good deal.
I'm happy because I made a huge do not contact list.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that's really a bummer if they don't have a company page, because you cannot add them and you have to manually add them to the company or the person that you don't want to be contacted.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then what we do is we'll save the search, because adding them with Boolean just takes forever. And then we'll just save the search once we've added that as well. Yeah. Cool. Did I hear someone else wanted to jump on? Benjamin, did you say something? Were you starting?
Yeah, but for me, but I just realized that it's not the topic of your session today. It was more about how, what would you recommend as, let's say, little secrets to create posts that engage people?
Let's hit on that, and then because if you're live here, you're the priority. So that's a great question, big topic, and honestly, I think Ilya has some really good material on that as well, just because that's his main world. I would say, obviously, it should be well done. It should be worded in a way that elicits engagement, but not in a negative way. Like I personally don't like it when people craft newsfeed content in a way that's complaining, because it gets traffic because people are complaining, but I feel like you're sacrificing your brand by complaining to get some engagement. I feel like in the long term that's a loss. That's just me though. Okay. But make it good. Tag people that you feel like would care about it. Just make sure that you're not abusing it, because there are givers and takers, right? And if you got a popular connection, you might tag them all the time so that their network sees it, and that's cool, but they might go, I'm getting used. But you can tag the right people. There's you could do something like an engagement pod, that kind of thing. Any other thoughts on that?
Well, that's good.
Typically adding a link in the post, those tend to perform less, of course. I've heard people say that you can go back and edit it after a time, and it doesn't really affect performance if you want to add the link later. Comments seem to boost a post visibility more than a like or insight, love, that kind of thing.
I got something to share, guys, in this, and I just did a post and some PowerPoint slides on it. It has to do with your links in a LinkedIn message. Okay. If you use www dot in your message, it's just going to be blue and clickable. If you use HTTP in any of its variants, it will pop the image up, the featured image from the location where you're going to, which might look really good.
It does look good, yeah.
Or it might look really bad if you're going to some other place, right?
Yep.
So if it looks really bad, use www dot.
That's a good point. I've had a caching issue there too, where I'll share a link and I'll go, oh crap, I forgot to make the featured image look good, and it just looks awful. And then I'll update it, and then even weeks later, I'll still add the link and it looks gross, and I'm going.
That's right. You got one shot. As soon as you publish that page, that Kajabi page, whatever it is, that's the image you're going to get for months and months, maybe forever.
Yeah, it's the worst. I wonder if you could do a redirect, do a redirect or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point.
Share one other part with it. So if the place where you're going with that link, it shows up, and it shows up with some text kind of below it too. So if your event is February 5th, like our event, February 5th, downtown Minneapolis, and it shows up in the link down below in the image, I don't have to say in the text, February 5th in downtown Minneapolis. It's redundant. So I was able to pull 2 or 3 lines out of it and shrink it down because the little featured image at the bottom says February 5th, Minneapolis, downtown.
That's a good point.
So I never try to, I don't want anything to be redundant, you know, if as much as possible. If you don't tell them it's February 5th here and tell them it's February 5th here, that's not the idea.
Yeah.
I found that out by just hacking around. I like that. I like how that one works. I don't like how that one works. And I tried it with all the variants. You got to try. Sometimes it works with the HTTPS and sometimes not. So you got to really test it, send it to a friend and stuff.
It might depend also on if where the image is hosted, if it's in the HTTPS as well.
I believe you're probably further along in that than I am now, Isaac. That's yours to run with now. You can own it.
So that's very cool. You know, with image, like sharing images and the thumbs, I think that's really, really good for communication. I think the one trade-off there is if somebody wanted to do a search in their inbox for the event name or whatever, if it was only in the thumb, it wouldn't come up. But I think that's the only.
That's correct. That's correct.
That's the only trade-off, just to be mindful of when you're using that good strategy.
Yeah, the name of the event is still in the text there and stuff. I mean, in the text, but the date, the details of it and stuff. I don't think someone would search on Friday 6 p.m. in the inbox. By the way, I'm only finding that you can search on one word in the inbox. Has anyone been able to do quotes or more than one word or any combinations in the LinkedIn inbox?
Yeah, I'll double check right now here.
It seems like it's only one word now. I type in the word John Thompson and it only finds the Johns.
Sorry, while you're checking it, Isaac, it was nice talking to you guys. Thank you, Isaac. I have to jump on another call.
No problem.
See you guys next week.
All right. You have a wonderful week. Thanks for jumping on. See ya.
Bye.
So you're talking, you can add more than one word, but it's like the
if you
results
want
that come back.
Search on John Smith. There's no way to search on John Smith. You can search on John or Smith. If you put in John Smith, it only finds the Johns because it takes, as soon as it finds the space. I just want to see if that's how it's working for other people. It seems to be working that way for me.
Yeah, it's the same here.
John Smith.
Here, I'm going to pull up, I'm going to share my screen real quick.
This is in the LinkedIn messages inbox.
So here I'll use Jesse an example because we know him. So Jesse Gergen.
Searched on Jesse. That's right. The Jurgen didn't mean anything.
Well, but see in this thread with Tracy.
Jesse Smith, Jesse Wood.
Well, see with these threads, Jesse's name has been mentioned, but in the message body.
But Jesse, it's not in. Why did Jesse Smith show up?
Because of this first name.
Yeah. So, but Jesse is in common in the other one too.
Jesse would be in the message body here.
Type in Gergen and Jesse and see what happens. I had a call with Jesse, by the way. He's awesome. And I had a call with Susan.
Cool. So it gave me the same.
So it looks like it's oring, or is it oring or anding? What do we determine here?
It looks like it'd be probably both. Like it's doing
oring here.
But they both, well.
Under Jesse Smith, there's no there's no Jurgen with Jesse Smith, is there?
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Try a Boolean there. And.
Same. Oh, wait. Oh, interesting. Okay, here's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm a little bit hesitant because this is my inbox.
Yeah.
I really mess around. So let me look into that. I've actually never thought about using Boolean in the LinkedIn message search.
Yeah. I guess that it was searching for the word and also, and not making it Boolean.
That's very possible, but I'm still going to check it out.
Look in the Sales Navigator inbox too and see if there's something different for us. We can talk about it next week. I know you'll be on it. You have to know on both inboxes, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Isaac, this is what I love about your group, man. We get to really hammer out really cool high-end stuff that there's very few people in the world that can have these conversations with us, you know?
Totally. I totally agree. It's my favorite part of the week, probably. Well, here we are
We
at
always
10.
learn.
We're here at 10:40, so I'm going to skip the targeting, which is totally cool because this is great. Anything else? I mean, I've probably got about 10 more minutes. Anything else you guys want to talk about live?
Yeah, let's do the targeting next week.
Cool. All right. If there's nothing else, I'm going to let us go.
It's okay for me. Thanks for replying to the answer.
See y'all
You
next
bet.
week.
You bet. We'll see you later.
You too.
Yeah, I will have to go, but I will try to join next week as well, and this time I'll try to be on time.
No worries. No worries.
Another
You're on the other side of the planet. Not a big deal. I mean, Jared does it all the time, but no big deal.
That's nice.
Bye, guys, and thanks for connecting.
See ya.